What credit score do you need to rent an apartment?
Hey, I'm Alex.
And I'm Philip.
And we teach you what you need to know about being a grown-up.
Because adulting shouldn't suck. In the comments below, let us know when you're trying to move out.
In this video, we're going to talk about what credit score you need to rent an apartment and how you can improve your credit score if you don't qualify with your current credit score.
Back when Alex and I moved out, we didn't even think about credit scores being required to move in. But we didn't have anybody telling us how to move out. So when I moved out, my roommate and I had some troubles getting approved at our first apartment because neither one of us had any credit. But luckily, my roommate's parents had, the great parents with great credit, and they were willing to co-sign for us. But if we didn't have them, who knows what we would have done, because my mom sure didn't have the credit to co-sign for us.
My story is pretty much the same as Philip's. And since we both moved out in the mid to late 2000s, credit checks have become even more common. So if you're moving out soon, you can 100% expect that your potential landlord is going to be checking your credit.
So, what credit score is required to get accepted into an apartment? This is going to vary depending on the landlord, but you can expect the landlords to want their tenants to possess a credit score of at least 600 to 620 for cheaper places. And for some more nicer, expensive places, they're going to want you to have credit scores between 680 to 740.
It should be obvious that the landlords want good tenants in their rentals, and checking their potential tenants' credit helps the landlords get a really good reading on how responsible the tenants are going to be. When somebody has good credit, it tends to mean that they're responsible with their money and that they can pay their bills on time, which is pretty important if you're hoping that they're going to pay rent. Now, this isn't always the case. You can have no credit or bad credit and still be a responsible person, but checking credit is a fast and effective way for landlords to gauge how financially responsible their people are going to be.
If you don't know what your credit score is, there's a lot of different ways that you can check your credit score for free. The most common way for people to check their credit is by going to creditkarma.com. But if you're using a budgeting app like Mint can tell you what your credit score is for free as well, and some mobile banking apps will tell you your credit score. But that's going to depend on your bank or your credit union.
Your credit score comes from 3 different credit bureaus: Equifax, Transunion, and Experian. And places that you pay money to report your payments or lack of payments to these credit card bureaus, and they determine your credit score based off of your payment history. So what happens if your credit score doesn't meet the requirements for that apartment complex or that landlord?
Well, if you have a few months between now and the time that you're planning on moving out, the first thing that you should be doing is building that credit. If you need help building your credit, we have a great system that will help you build your credit on autopilot. If you want it, the link to download it is going to be in the description below, so check it out.
If you have to move out soon and your credit score isn't where it needs to be, here's a few options that you can try out to still get approved for that apartment that you want.
Thing number 1, offer to pay an extra month up front. Now, this might not always work, but it shows the landlord that you have the money and that you're serious about wanting the rental.
All right, the second thing is find a roommate to move in with. Duh. I mean, I get it. Part of moving out is get away from people, get your own freedom, have your own space, but splitting the rent every month and all your expenses with a roommate can be a great way to reduce your cost of living if you want to get out on your own. And it can help you do it faster because it's not as much money. Now, you don't have to have roommates forever, but the first year or so, while you're getting used to the cost of adulting, it can definitely help to have a roommate. It's not really a bad idea. Mm-hmm. And, I mean, everything right now is crazy expensive.
So expensive. Thing number 3. Do what my roommate and I did. Get a cosigner. A cosigner is someone that takes financial responsibility for your bills, like rent, in the event that you don't pay it. To be qualified as a cosigner, this person has to have good enough credit and make enough money to pay for all of their bills and your bills. If they don't make enough, then they won't be approved to be your cosigner. Additionally, if you or your cosigner doesn't make that payment, then both of your credits will be negatively impacted.
That's a huge responsibility for people to take on.
Mm-hmm.
The last thing, number 4, If none of these options work for you, then maybe you need to look for a cheaper place to live. It's not ideal, but if you're just moving out for the first time, this isn't going to be your forever home, so it doesn't have to be perfect. Sometimes you got to settle for less to get where you want to be. That's part of life.
It is. So, there you have it. Remember, the landlord can require whatever credit score they want for somebody to move in. So be sure to ask what they require before you fill out that rental application. If you need some help filling out a rental application, we have a free downloadable rental application template. It'll have all of the questions and information that you need to fill out a rental application. So download it, fill it out, and take it with you when you want to turn in an application.
Everything is expensive right now, and the market's crazy. So the higher your credit score is, the better it's going to be for you because it's highly competitive getting into different apartment complexes. So this is something you're going to want to pay attention to.
Yeah, the housing market is scarce right now. So make sure you got all of your stuff ready and prepared if you're trying to move out soon. If you liked this video, make sure you hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. In the comments below, let us know if you didn't know about any of these credit score requirements in this video.
See you in the next video.
Bye.